So today we will be discussing about the data architecture. Uh, whenever we get the data from the source, what architecture we need to design, how the data should be flowing in our pipelines, in our whole structure. What is the structure of which we want to implement so that any change in the data in future is properly and easily accommodated. So data architect is answering all these questions, how to build those scalable building blocks and how to build those scalable pipelines and architecture. Okay, so we will be discussing about what is data architecture and why is it important to have a data architecture and what are good and bad architectures. So to build those architectures, we need a coding background and the tools which we need to be master in are SQL, PySpark, Python. These three languages will help us build those architectures. After design pattern, after designing, after printing on our page, what we can do is to implement those architectures, we need to have these three tool skills. So moving forward, this is the roadmap of SQL and Python. By following this roadmap, we can master these two tools. To get into PySpark, we need to master that also. We will be discussing that in future. So what is bad architecture design and what is good architecture design? So whenever we go to the client and ask the client about the data, what they want as an output, what is the input and what is the output. So as an input, they gives us data, and as an output, they want us an aggregated data. But the basic question which comes into anyone's mind is that what will happen if new data arrives? What if we have data from different 50 or 60 or 70 sources? How to ingest that data, how to process that data, and how to store that data? This is the basic and the foremost duty of a data architect. So if data architect doesn't design the architecture in proper way, then it is a complete mess in future, because data architect and the data developer, whenever they will communicate with each other, they can't communicate properly with each other. For example, when the data model is created, okay, so the data modeler will go to uh, the data developer, and he will guide him how to make those pipelines, how to do the aggregations. After that, he will present in front of the client. But after a time, when new data will arrive, when massive data will arrive, then how to accommodate those data as well? How to remove those silos, data silos? Data silos means that if we need a table, if we need a column, and we already have too many tables, but we don't know where we have to get this column from, and we again ingest, again create a new table to facilitate that requirement. We already have that table in our whole architecture, but we don't know. So when we create a bad architecture, it is very difficult to do QA and QC of the data. QA mean quality assurance and QC mean quality control of the data, which is the basic backbone of any data architecture. So if new resources are hired, how to explain how to explain them, how to develop new data pipelines, that will be very difficult for the data team, data leads. So this is the importance of building a data architecture with best practices. So let me give you an example. If anyone gives you this stone in your hand and tells you that this is a gift from my side, you will not take it. I, I will also not take it. But if he gives me this block of gold, I will be very happy for it because this is worth it. This is very expensive, I know. This raw material, I know that it has no any amount. They it has no any price for it, but this has a lot of price. This is very expensive. This is the example of good architecture, and this is the example of bad architecture. Anyone coming to our company, coming to our society, will he will be happy to get this, to have it, but he will be very in bad mood. He will be in bad mood if we used to give this to him. So good architecture versus bad architecture. Good architecture, everything is smooth, customer is happy, the data architecture team is happy, and developers are also happy to manage that data. So let's come next to how to build good architectures. So medallion architecture is the best practice of building any good architectures. In medallion architecture, we have three layers. One is bronze layer, one is silver layer, and the third is golden layer. So whenever we have to ingest the data, the raw data, we put that data in the bronze layer. And the bronze layer, we used to have normalized data. Means there are a lot of tables. If if we have denormalized data, we used to do normalization in bronze schema, in bronze layer. We will be discussing this in future, that what is the advantages of this. The next come is the silver layer, and the other is the golden layer, which is our main layer, which is used for reporting. So let's go next. The good ar- okay, so how to build a good architecture and what is good designs? In good designs, we have we have raw data. Okay, we have to take care of raw data in terms of PII data, person information, that should be encrypted. That should be in a encrypted in secure database as well. The data need to be validated. There should be pipelines which validate the data. There, all the pipelines should be scalable and have good performance. And the automation and monitoring is also a core component. For more, you can subscribe to our channel. So thank you for today.